Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for the OPTC video. And in today's video, PKA is live with the worldwide celebration. And in today's video, we're doing the level 60 to level 80 no new batch video that utilizes the auto strat. And I always like to put out this video first because I do like to make sure players know that the best way to farm PKA is to keep your mini bosses at the low level. So keep a kind at level 1, keep S-Shark at level 6, and then start building up your final boss to get as many turtles as you possibly can. Now, I do know a lot of people are skipping this worldwide celebration. And honestly, kudos to you guys. So today, we're not going in with any of the new characters. We are going to use a Luffy and Lucci friend captain, because I feel like lots of people will be summoning on this particular banner. So I feel like finding these newer characters shouldn't be too challenging. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, sweet. So like, you go, look, like this, even if you use like Zoro Kaku, man, like, doesn't matter which one you guys use, Lucci and Luffy are going to work a little bit better because they boost fighter characters, but at the same time, like, it really doesn't matter, man. Like, it doesn't matter. The level 1 mini bosses, like, they are so damn easy. You just want to put as many point boosters as you guys have on a team onto the team. Now, the free-to-play S-Shark from PKA, the 6+ Kuzan are the two characters that are going to be giving you the highest buffs. So if you did manage to pick up those particular characters, make sure to throw them on the team somewhere. As to the rest of the team, I've just used characters from the New Year's celebration. These particular characters are at a 75% drop rate. They did state that characters from the previous batch will still be boosted for the next 3 months in PK. And look, it's a great little addition that they've added, because it allows players to summon on these like big time banners like the Super Sugo for New Year's, the anniversary exclusives, the anniversary banner, and then sort of still have boosters to get as many turtles as possible. But like, if you guys don't have any of the characters that you guys are seeing in this particular team, like, just literally replace characters with your highest boosters. Try and bring a captain that synergizes with one of the new characters. If you have to bring 2 of the same character, obviously run 2 Kuzans. 2 Kuzans is going to be the play, because Kuzan actually has a very good captain ability for strength, dex, and quick characters. It's a really easy way of building out your teams. Any point boosters that are sitting around that what's it called, that 0.75 range, they're the ones that you're stereotypically going to want to bring. So, but the only 2 point boosters that are at 1 times rate, besides obviously the newer characters being the new legends and the new rare recruits, are going to be those 2 super evolutions in S-Shark and Kuzan. Now, if you guys didn't super evolve S-Shark, the regular S-Shark, he's still a 0.75 booster, so you will have options of bringing him as well. So, like I said, fill the team out with as many point boosters as possible, because as you can see, like, this level 1 fight that Akanu's throwing up, like, it's very easy to do on auto. And if you guys didn't do any summons at all, or you got very unlucky on the banners, didn't pull any of the new characters, you can basically just throw together as many boosters as you want on a team, hit the auto button, and then just farm your turtles from these mini boss fights. And that's the best way to get your turtles, man. Like, sure, the Hime turtles is always going to be a problem, but going off like last PK, which I didn't have any of the batch, getting the Hime turtles was like near impossible. I didn't even get close to getting the amount of Hime turtles needed for the missions. So like, I just settled for just maxing out the actual characters, maxing out the turtles from these mini boss fights, getting my hands on the 500 just to get myself as many rewards as possible from PKA. Building up the final boss is obviously going to get you bounty, it's going to get you super cola, all that fun stuff, and that's pretty much what you want to do. You want to sort of focus on getting as high as possible with that particular fight, so that way you get most of the Chopperman rewards, most of the milestone rewards, and then still get your turtles from these particular events. Every time you hit level 60, 80, 100, or 100 plus, you will have access to both the mini boss fights. So as you can see, we are on level 60, because it ends in a 0 being 60. We have access to both, so that way we can definitely take on both of them here. So again, we're just going to run the same team. I threw in a bunch of supports that are just super handy. We have the bind removal of Bonnie on Kuma. It's a big reason I wanted to bring Kuma. We have Jozu for some attack down removing support on Wipe It and Ace. Then I have that Sabo support for the defense up and despair removal on the final stage too. So doesn't have to be these supports. Hell, like I said, it doesn't even have to be this team. It can literally just be like any of your point boosters with like a Kuzan captain. So let's just grab this Luffy and Lucci, and let's dive into the second fight against S-Shark. Once again, we're just going to hit the auto button. once we connect. And then we're just basically going to let the game rock. And this is a great way of sort of doing your PKA without stressing too much about actually needing to play, and focus your runs mainly on that final boss. Because if you do like all of these mini boss fights and actually play and sit down and tap, it can take a very long time to get through your daily PKA stamina. So like I said, literally just doing it this way allows you to just mindlessly play, still get your rewards, because these particular fights, they don't really give you anything extra. There's nothing special at the end of them if you get them to level 150. Sure, the Hime total drop rate might be a little bit higher, but it's nothing like so crazy that you should really be forcing yourself to get to level 150 to try and get more Hime totals and spend ages playing the game. Like if you want to, like I said, more power to you, but I would highly recommend getting your totals before you look at actually doing that. And that's probably something only like endgame players or players that have the batch are going to be looking at doing. You guys don't have the batch, like I said, or if you don't have any of the new characters, it can be very, very daunting getting the totals. And this is by far the best way to do it. So like I said, I always like to put out these types of videos for players so they can see how to maximize their gains with not the least amount of effort, but with like a minimal amount of effort that isn't going to make their head explode at the same time. So that were the mini boss fights. Pretty simple stuff. There's nothing too crazy with these mini boss fights. Sometimes you get hit with like defensive effects and you have to take like 10 turns on the final stage. But there's, like I said, there's really nothing too insane about the final stages. So let's move on to the final boss fight, and we're pretty much just going to use the same team against the final boss, and we're just going to see how that actually operates. So let's grab ourselves the green tickets. As for the priority of what you guys should be selecting, I would highly recommend selecting the green tickets. They have the highest value, in my opinion, as obviously like Super Cola is a big thing for your ship upgrades. If you're a newer player, like getting your hands on some of those older free-to-play characters, or at least having access to getting them with a successful amount of currency, then you will be in a pretty good spot with that one there. So I always like to select them, but look, I know a lot of people like to select stuff like Cola and whatnot too, so it's really up to you guys. But in my opinion, I believe you should probably be selecting the green ticket. So here we go. So level 60 to level 80, let's dive in. Now we're going to be using the same team that we were using for the mini boss fights for level 60 to 80. Level 60 to 80 really isn't that challenging, so you can get away with utilizing a lot of these boosted characters to sort of maximize your drops in the final stage. But remember, I don't really recommend running the max amount of drops for these like final boss fights. Really, you want to be utilizing the mini bosses to gain all your totals, and that way you can sort of use any team that you like for this final fight. Now let's just sort of scroll down here. Let's find a Luffy and Lucci once again. To grab this one. I think this is my one actually. Yeah, you don't really need to be running the full boosted or your highest amount of drops. This team has 5 to 8 drops, which is great. But again, that's just best used when you guys are versing the mini bosses. Now, I always like to do a Straw Hat crew, Straw Hat crew, like free-to-play team. Sometimes it does use some like different supports, but I do always like to do that video with a Gear 5 friend captain. So make sure to check that one out from level 80 to 100. That video will be up a little bit later after this one. But if you guys are struggling with sort of putting together a team, or you don't have some of these characters, I will be using some of those free-to-play characters that can help you out. But remember, like level 60 to level 80 really isn't too challenging. Like, it really isn't too challenging at all. So we switch to Lucci there. The big reason we want to switch to Lucci is just so we have a little bit of type advantage. Again, if you can't find Lucci as a friend captain, just run like another Luffy, man. Like you're getting or even Kuzan. Just run a Kuzan friend captain for the extra drop, so that way you're getting the strength, dex, and quick captains nice and easily. So S Hawk is going to put up defense up. He gives you a full bot of tandem orbs, and then he makes tandem orbs at a lower rate. So ideally, you don't really want to have tandem orbs on this particular fight, but it's really not that big of a deal. Like it's nothing too drastic here. I'm going to use the Luffy special just to remove the defense up. And as you guys see there, like it becomes a very, very easy kill. Like I said, level 60 to 80 is not a lot going on, so you don't really need to salvage specials or do anything crazy like that. There is bind on the left-hand side, but again, that's where I wanted to use the, what's it called? The Bonnie special, if you guys don't have sockets. I have the Sabo support for some special bind removal there, which is great. There is some attack down at the end here, but the idea here is that I'm just going to switch with my friend captain Lucci and Luffy. We're going to use the Luffy and Lucci special to remove the special binds. And then basically you can just sort of pop like all of your specials, whatever like attack buffs and stuff, whatever you have at your disposal, sort of try and get the damage done here. So no, I don't want to switch captains. Let's just like, I believe you remove the attack down, right? Yeah, you remove the 10 turns of attack down. Kumar is doing something, buffing color affinity, I guess, so that's always fun, and should just be able to kill. Like, you don't really need orbs, you don't really need too much going on, and as you can see, you should be able to do quite a bit of damage there. So that's level 60 to 80 with up to 8 drops, utilizing the auto strat for the mini bosses. Make sure you guys are utilizing this strat, man. Like, it does help you out a great deal in getting as many turtles as possible. Like, it's very important. You want to sort of dupe at least 5 of these turtles for the mini boss fights. Again, I can't stress enough that you want to use the final boss fight to build up your levels, but hell, I know a lot of people that like to stay at level 60, stay at level 80, stay at level 100. Well, if you go over level 100, you're getting both mini bosses, but if you have access to both mini bosses, then you are going to be getting more turtles with each of your runs as well. So it's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, whether you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!